code, we have a couple of things that we are going to go over. We're going to go over how to create a large sprite. We're going to learn how to set a background image. We're going to learn how to position our sprite where we want it. And we're also going to teach it to stay in the screen. And as well as we're going to create our own background images today. So we have a lot to do. And it's Monday, so we'll see how awesome things go for us. All right. Let's get rid of that and start from fresh. Hey, go away. There we go. All right, so let's start off by making a large sprite. Remember, when you want to create any kind of sprite, you're going to go to Sprites, Set My Sprite, and put it in the on start. Okay? The way to create your original sprite, which you're going to do today, you're going to click on that gray box. Now, in the bottom left, the sizes. If I want to create a large sprite, I'm going to change it. I made 64 by 64, and it made a nice size sprite. So I'm just going to make a simple stick figure because that'll be done quickest. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Dun. His legs aren't really attached. That's okay. Dun. He's got arms. There he is. He's beautiful. All right, he's done. Okay, now you can see because I made the size of the screen larger, he's larger. So if you only did 16 by 16, it's going to be smaller. Okay, so the next thing I want you guys to know is how to position him on the screen. So to position him, you again go into Sprites, and we are going to set the X and Y position because this is a grid. It starts off at 0, 0, which is where he's going to go in a second. He looks like he disappeared. 0, 0 is the top left corner. What you have to remember about positioning your sprites is that it's going to position it from the actual middle of whatever sprite that is. So if you have 0, 0, most of him is going to be off the screen because the middle is up in this corner. If I want to change the position, I'm going to start with the X. X is left and right. Okay, so that's going to move it left and right. So I click on the 0, and I have this slider here, which is awesome. And it lets me move it according to the screen. The furthest I can go is 160. So we'll pick the middle-ish. And once I pick a spot, I have to hit enter. So now it's at 48. So it should move over. You can see a little more of it. Now I also want to change its Y position. Y is up and down. So again, I've got that slider, and I'm going to move it down lower. Whoops. Hit enter, and it's going to reposition it. Oh, that's too low because his feet are now below the screen. So that helps me. It's like, okay, let's move him up a little bit. Much better. Okay, so that's how you make a large sprite, and that's how you position him, how you set him on the grid. Okay, remember the center of him is where the positioning is. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is actually how to move him, because your goal today is to move your sprite across the screen. We're going to use the controller, and we're just going to choose Move My Sprite with Buttons. And then when my program resets, whew, very shaky, I can move him around the screen. But, he goes out of the screen. That is not very helpful to me. So I'm going to go back into Sprites. I'm going to scroll down to where it says Effects. And there's a block here that says Set My Sprite to Stay in Screen. Its default is off though, so I have to toggle the switch to say on. And now, when I play, he stays on the screen. I can't run him out of the screen anymore. Okay? So that's what I want to do. The last thing is, I don't want him to have this black background. I want to actually create a nice background image. Maybe I want to put him at the beach. So I'm going to go into Scene, and I'm going to do Set Background Image to. If you notice, you've got that gray box again. And that gray box, as soon as I click it, is going to allow me to work in there. If you notice, down on the bottom left, it says 160 by 120. That's the whole screen. So you want to make sure that it says, when you're doing your background, you want to make sure it says 160 by 120 so that you can have a picture of the whole thing. So let's make some sand. Yellow. Come on. He doesn't want to work real well for me today. Fill that. We get some more sand. And I would fill the rest of that in. And then I could do the fill bucket. There we go. And then I'll put some water here. So now he's at the beach. And again, I could add other things like an umbrella, birds, whatever. But when I click done, he's now at the beach. Okay? Again, I would definitely have more things on here. I would make it more, interesting. When I'm finished, I'm going to make sure that I save it. And I call it Walking Hero. Save. And then we know it wants to save to my desktop. Yours might want to save to Google Drive. And then the last thing I need to do is I'm going to share, publish, get my link, copy it. And then I'm going to make sure that I go into my portfolio and I add the link. You can see I have a lot of Walking Heroes. Version 6 I'm up to. And then I'm going to take that link and I'm going to turn it into Google Classroom where it says 2-1 Walking Hero. Once I open the assignment, I'm going to click where it says link, paste it, and then I'm going to click turn in as soon as the link is there. Okay. So that's kind of what we're doing today. I'm going to run through how to do those things again.